So this team, the Sacramento Kings, are in a very, very interesting spot. As we know, their season hasn't gone in any way, shape, or form as they have wanted. You have players like Zach LaVine coming out and speaking about, the team being on one accord defensively, etc., etc. This Kings team is now mentioning rumblings about a rebuild, possibly. Now, there's no truth to this. There's just rumors currently swirling around this team. And I think if you are the Sacramento Kings, the time to rebuild is right now. I don't see it getting any better, just due to the fact that these three guys that you see on the screen, DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Domas Sabonis, are not equipped enough together to be able to hold their own weight defensively. This team is one that, when they did trade for LaVine and go out there and get DeRozan, I did not see them being any better than they once were. You trade a guy like De'Aaron Fox in the hopes of acquiring some sense of, I guess, the reset to make your team better, to make your team all in all be better equipped in the West, which didn't come to pass. This Sacramento Kings team, in my opinion, has a lot of talent, right? They have talent. That's what they do have. They have talent, right? They have the necessary pieces. But in my opinion, I don't believe they have the other thing, right? They don't have the other thing, in my opinion. And by the other thing, I mean guys that are all on the same page. I believe this Kings team reminds me of the Chicago Bulls team that had LaVine and DeRozan. It's more than just ISO basketball. You're going to need to put a formidable roster together, which includes guys that know their role defensively and know where to get to, as far as, not only when we're talking about a guy like I said, like a guy like a Domas Sabonis, who we know all in all is a great piece, but pairing him with a LaVine and a DeRozan is not it, right? As far as contracts are concerned, we know Sabonis is under contract for, I believe, the next 2 seasons after this one. LaVine does have a player option. DeRozan is under contract as well. And I believe, when you look at guys like Malik Monk being under contract, I just think all in all, if you are the Kings, hit the reset button. And I know Kings fans don't want to hear that, but I believe right now is the best time, if any, because they're not going to be competitive enough to make a run. They're not going to be competitive enough to make a run. They give up a ton of points. So when you look at what they've been able to accomplish to this point, I just say to myself, this Kings team reminds me of the Kings team of the past, where they look good on paper, but they just don't have that other thing. Now, mind you, this is a Sacramento Kings team under Mike Brown that had one of the best records in the Western Conference a few years ago. The whole light the beam and all of that went on under Mike Brown. They fire him, and now you see. Now, I'm not calling out on Doug Christie. I don't think this is a coach's problem. I just think this is a fact of the matter that the group that's out there night in and night out can't get it done together. So if you do hit the rebuild and reset, right now is the appropriate time, in my opinion.